Welcome to Live at 7:45. I have the privilege and honor to bring you guys an amazing morning devotional before you go to school or whatever you guys are getting into today. My name is Jamie, and we are still in the subject of love. Yes, it's March, and it's not the month of love like it was in February, but as Pastor Zach, Pastor Des, Omari, and Tim have been giving you some good tidbits out of First Corinthians 13, which is literally the chapter of the book in terms of love. So I'm going to be focusing on verse 7 specifically and how love protects and always trusts as well. So verse 7 in the New International Version reads, "It," going towards love, "always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always preserves." But we're going to focus on trust, and we're also going to focus on how love protects. And it's interesting. Thinking of protecting, we kind of think of it in terms of physical sense. If somebody's trying to take something from you, you're like, well, you're going to have to back up. You're going to have to step off of that. And we might have to scrap. But really, when you look at it from a different perspective in terms of how to protect, it's really coming from a place of protecting love. Love protects from the heart. So we see this in Proverbs. We see this in Proverbs 4:23-27. And in the New International Version, it reads, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Keep your mouth free of perversity." So basically, any bad speech. "Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths of your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways." That means make sure that what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. "And do not turn to the right or the left, and keep your foot from evil." So when we get to understanding what love really is, God says that He is love. So this is not, like, we can see this as an attribute of God and how He protects. This is a way for Him to protect us by giving us His word. In terms of Proverbs 4:23-27, is how to guard your heart, how to protect your heart, how to protect yourself, but not just protect yourself, but protect others through love. So if we want to exhibit love and this aspect of love in terms of protection, we also have to check ourselves before we have to go forward in what we're trying to do. So whenever we come into interaction with other people, or when we receive something from somebody else, we have to guard ourselves and wrap ourselves with love. But to understand what that is, we also have to practice it from a perspective that God intended, because He is love. And if we want the right way of going about love, we need to look at it from His perspective. And this is why He left this verse for us. And it's so good, because a lot of times we get caught up and get into situations like before we even come to grasp with what we're trying to deal with. We just jump headfirst into it. We don't guard our heart. We don't think of what to speak. We just let things come out. And it may not be exactly what we intended it to be. And it could be hurtful to ourselves. It could be hurtful to somebody else. And that's not love. It's the exact opposite. So really, when you're looking at it, and if you really want to exhibit love, make sure that you're first guarding your heart and making sure that what's just coming out of your mouth is coming from a place of love as well. And going to the next portion of it, looking at it from an aspect of not just protection, but looking at love in a sense that it's also trust. It takes time to build trust, right? So if it takes time to build trust, that's something that you got to practice daily. That's something that you got to practice over a long time. Let's just say you have a best friend, right? That trust in that best friend didn't come overnight. Like, they had to have done something for you, or they had to come through a few times to be like, okay, I can trust John Doe. I can trust Jason. I can trust Sarah, whatever their name is. And they have done something for you out of a place where they care about you. So when you're looking for a way to trust, and when you're looking from a love and aspect of trust, it takes time to build that. So whenever we're looking at that aspect of love and you want to actually show that portion of love to somebody else, you had to build that. You had to build that with them. And God builds out for us each and every day, and that's why he wants us to have a relationship with him, because he wants to build that trust. Love, a part of love is trust. So if we talk to him daily, we get into our Bible daily, we pray, which is just having a conversation with God, we can actually build that portion of love with him. We can build that portion of trust with him. So that's why it's so important to get into the word, whether it's just reading a chapter or maybe a few verses, and praying and just having a conversation with God who loves you and wants to share that aspect of love. And by learning how to trust in that sense and trusting God in that sense, you can learn to protect, because there's certain portions of the Bible that helps you to protect and to love. And that's all I got for you. I hope you got something good out of it, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.